Up until now, every query that we've executed, we've never told SQL how we want the data to be sorted. If you don't tell the data to be sorted, it's essentially, well, I don't want to say random, but it's sort of random. Now, it's technically not, because SQL is going to return the data to me in the order in which it finds it. And as we'll talk about in another lesson, the way that it's going to find the data is by using different indexes. So based on the indexes that are used, that will impact the order in which my data is going to be returned. However, if I don't specifically state that I want my data to be sorted in a particular direction, there is no guarantee from SQL the order in which my data is going to be sorted. This is where order by comes into play. Order by will allow us to control which columns are going to be used to sort the data. Now again, if we don't put in an order by statement, there is no guarantee of an order. Now that's not to say that if I take the same query and execute it twice successively, that I'm going to wind up with a different order, but it is actually possible. So your data in a particular order, use an order by. Now you can choose to sort by multiple columns, and what will happen is SQL will just simply use them in order. So if you say, for example, first name and then last name, just separated by a comma, then what will happen is it will sort everybody by first name and then break ties based on last name. So if I said first name, last name, all my Christophers would be grouped together, and then those Christophers would then be sorted based on their last name. Now the order by will execute last in a select statement, which means that this will be the one time that we can now use our column aliases. I am going to mention for completeness sake that you could actually use the column number as well. So if I said order by and then 1, it's going to use the first column in the select line. Never, ever, ever, ever under any circumstance do that, however, because the problem with doing that is what happens if the order in which my columns are listed in the select statement changes. Well, then you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Let's take a look at an order by statement. I'm going to keep this real simple. Let's just say select. We'll say first name. We'll say last name. We'll say email address, from, person, contact, and sure enough, there is our data. Now again, there is no guaranteed sort order. If I want to choose how my data is going to be sorted, I need an order by. So if I say order by last name, it's now going to sort it by last name. Now, by default, it's actually going to sort it ascending, which means that it's going to start from the smallest value and go up to the biggest value, or in the case of text data, it's going to go from A to Z. If I want to reverse that, then I can say DESC for descending, and that's going to sort that in reverse order. So you'll notice now I get Zwilling up at the very top. If I want to indicate even further how I want my data to be sorted, then I can say comma, space, and then the next column. So let's go ahead and say first name, and let's do DESC again. And what I want you to notice is Carla and Patricia down at 5 and 6. Then when I now say sort by first name descending, you'll notice that Patricia is going to be listed first. And as promised, that's exactly what we got. And you can list as many columns as you want. One last little note about order by is that order by does add overhead to the query. There may be times when you don't care about the order in which the data comes back. And this might be because maybe my application is going to be sorting it for the user. If you don't care about the order in which the data is coming back, do not use an order by statement.